What's up, Reds? Welcome back to Man United Talk. Today's Manchester United news is packed with breaking transfer developments. Michael Carrick is reportedly pushing for a major £85 million signing. Club chiefs are preparing for important transfer talks. Matheus Cunha is back at Carrington, looking ready for pre-season. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe has officially launched a fresh new identity for Manchester United. We'll break down everything you need to know, so make sure you watch until the end. Let's get straight into it. Man United news, Michael Carrick makes hijack call as chiefs to fly in for £85 million transfer talks. Michael Carrick is set for a busy first transfer window as Manchester United manager after being handed the role permanently. Manchester United are sure to be busy in the summer transfer market as the World Cup nears its latter stages. The club's directors could be jetting in for transfer talks if a report is to be believed. With Michael Carrick at the wheel, United will be back in the Champions League for the upcoming season, but they have yet to add to their squad. Atalanta midfielder Ederson was expected to be the first summer arrival, but his transfer has been delayed due to his World Cup availability and a lack of a medical. A second midfield signing is also expected, with reports in Spain suggesting that a move for Real Madrid's Aurelien Tchouameni is on the cards. So much so that United's chiefs are supposedly jetting in for talks. Mirror Football brings you the latest transfer updates from Old Trafford, including a verdict on a potential hijacking involving Tottenham. Aurelien Tchouameni, talks Spanish publication Diario AS, reports that Real Madrid midfielder Tchouameni is a target for United and that club chiefs will soon fly to the Spanish capital to discuss a potential transfer. However, the deal is not expected to be easy. The outlet adds that any sales Real Madrid sanction this summer will each exceed £85 million. This means that, as per this report, if United do want to snap up the France star, they will have to pay a hefty fee. There is also the potential barrier of the player's own intentions. It is understood that Tchouameni wants to remain at the Bernabeu. However, AS points to recent transfer activity between the two clubs that could help any deal gain legs. In 2021, Rafael Varane made the move from Spain to Manchester, and a year later, Casemiro did the same. The report claims that this good relationship means both United and Real Madrid remain aligned on transfers. Rafael Leao hijack verdict. United are also on the hunt for a new wide player, and reports claim that AC Milan and Portugal superstar Rafael Leao has been offered to them by his agent. But The Sun reports that manager Carrick does not view the player as a target, even though his representatives have contacted the club over a possible move. Leao has already said he would happily join Tottenham, according to reports, but United's new permanent boss has seemingly turned down the chance to hijack the deal. Saudi Pro League clubs and Barcelona are considered alternative destinations for Leao. Man United star turns heads in training before teammates report back for pre-season. Manchester United's players will return to Carrington later this week to begin pre-season training for the new campaign. Manchester United's squad will return to Carrington later this week to kick off preparations for the new campaign, though Patrick Dorgu has already stolen a march on his teammates after grafting away from the training complex. Anticipation is building at Old Trafford following Michael Carrick's successful stabilisation of the club after Ruben Amorim's mid-season exit. The former United midfielder oversaw 17 fixtures as interim boss, claiming 12 victories as he steered the side to third spot in the Premier League and delivered a much-anticipated Champions League comeback. That remarkable transformation secured the Englishman a 2-year deal as permanent manager and has given fans fresh belief that the club can mount a serious challenge for silverware throughout the 2026-27 season. Pre-season officially kicks off on Thursday, with the initial group of players heading back to Carrington for fitness assessments and training sessions. Over the coming weeks, Carrick and his backroom team will concentrate on restoring fitness levels, fine-tuning their tactical blueprint and bedding in any fresh arrivals ahead of United's Premier League curtain raiser away to Hull City on August 22nd. But preparations will get underway without a complete squad, with several supporters' favourites still away on international duty at the expanded FIFA World Cup in North America, which will wrap up a week later than normal on July 19th. That means Carrick will initially be missing a number of crucial figures, including Kobbie Mainoo, Lisandro Martinez and skipper Bruno Fernandes. Instead, Work will commence with those who either didn't make their national team squads or represent nations that failed to qualify for the tournament. Among them is Danish wingback Dorgu, who displayed glimpses of his immense potential last season when deployed in a more attacking role on the left flank. The 21-year-old found the net in Carrick's opening match against Manchester City before memorably bagging United's goal of the season with a 30-yard volley in the league victory away at Arsenal. His progress was then disrupted by a hamstring problem that sidelined him for a significant portion of the run-in before making his comeback for the final fixture of the campaign. Dorgu now looks intent on making an immediate impact, with clips circulating on social media showing him working with a personal trainer ahead of United's official return date. Dressed in a retro France World Cup 1998 shirt, the left-footed winger looked razor-sharp as he put in extensive work on his movement, agility, dribbling and one-on-one finishing. The additional graft will undoubtedly delight Carrick, who will be hoping Dorgu can provide the answer to United's left-wing headache. It also appeared to catch the eye of several United fans who expressed their excitement at the prospect of watching the youngster in action this campaign. "He's got a serious left foot on him. For me, he should definitely play left wing for us," said one supporter. One United fan drew comparisons with Manchester City forward Antoine Semenyo, writing, "When I saw Semenyo posting something like this, I knew he was going to be another level the upcoming season. Now seeing Dorgu, I have the feeling he'll be on another level too." Another social media user seized the chance to take a swipe at former manager Amorim, who regularly fielded Dorgu as a wing-back in a 3-4-3 formation. "His finishing is nuts. What on earth was Amorim doing with this kid?" he said. The Copenhagen-born talent was putting in the work alongside Kwaku Ohemeng, a UK-based coach boasting 15 years' experience, who has previously worked with Premier League stars including Adama Traore and Liverpool's Jeremy Frimpong. Man United's new three-word slogan launched as part of major Sir Jim Ratcliffe rebrand. Manchester United have introduced 3 new values that the club are aiming to adhere to in the coming years as part of a major rebrand under Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has played a central role in establishing 3 key values at Manchester United as the club gears up for the new campaign. United are on the verge of returning to pre-season training after their summer break as preparations intensify under manager Michael Carrick. The Red Devils handed Carrick the permanent manager's job towards the end of last season, after the former midfielder steered United to 3rd place in the Premier League during his stint as interim boss. United will be back in the Champions League next season and will have genuine ambitions of challenging the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City for Premier League glory. Ratcliffe and Ineos have implemented a raft of behind-the-scenes changes at United since taking control of football operations at Old Trafford in 2024. The latest development has seen Ineos unveil 3 core values that the club intends to uphold for the foreseeable future, according to The Sun. United have identified badge, bravery and spirit as their new guiding principles, which have now appeared on the club's official website. Badge. Earn the badge every day, United's club website states. Respect our history and heritage, be best in class and deliver to the standards expected of Manchester United. No one is bigger than the club. Bravery. Be bold, be brave and take calculated risks. Do things differently and innovate. Lead by example and do what's right for the club, even when it's hard. Spirit. Embody the spirit of Manchester United. Show strength of character, act with passion and fight back no matter what. The transfer window is also set to take centre stage throughout the summer, with a string of high-profile players being linked with moves to Old Trafford. Atalanta star Ederson has agreed to make the switch to United this summer, with an initial fee of £35 million already locked in, along with a further £3.8 million in potential add-ons. United will venture to Finland, Norway, Sweden, the Republic of Ireland and Poland throughout their pre-season schedule. Carrick's side will line up against Wrexham, Rosenborg, Atletico Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Leeds United and AC Milan as they gear up for the forthcoming campaign. All of this will serve as the build-up to United's Premier League curtain raiser on August 22nd, when they head to the MKM Stadium to take on Hull City. Why are Manchester United being linked with so many players? The truth behind their transfer shift. Man United are running the rule over a host of potential signings this summer, and one of the reasons for that is their new approach to recruitment. It has been a noticeable feature in the first few weeks of this transfer window that plenty of names are emerging as Manchester United attempt to strengthen their squad. News of United monitoring Chelsea midfielder André Santos broke on Sunday, and it was another name to add to the list, with the club interested in signing the 22-year-old who is available this summer. United have been linked with dozens of midfielders this summer, and it goes without saying they won't be signing all of them. Elliot Anderson, Adam Wharton, Carlos Baleba and Sandro Tonali were all on the shortlist during the season. When United stepped away from the race to sign Anderson after Manchester City's 9-figure bid, they moved on to Matheus Fernandes, who has since joined Tottenham. Now, Alex Scott is the leading midfield target, but background checks have been carried out on Felix and Mecha, and United would still love to sign Aurelien Tchouameni. In the Premier League, Santos is one player United have looked at, alongside Fulham's Norwegian international Sander Berge. The names of Championship duo Shea Charles and Hayden Hackney also appeared on the list. It's a similar story in other positions, with sources suggesting United's list of options to fill the backup goalkeeper role is a sizable one, and Carl Darlow and Sam Johnston are two players among many under consideration. It feels like a change in approach from United, who have previously alighted on a couple of targets for each position and then worked hard to get one of those over the line, often spending big to secure a priority deal. The reason it now feels like United have a longer list of targets under consideration is that they have become more data-led in recruitment, with the team headed by Michael Sansoni compiling lists of players who fit the brief for each position. A University of Southampton graduate, Sansoni joined United in April 2025 after more than a decade with the Mercedes F1 team and made an immediate impact. Part of his work in the first window helped convince the club that Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha were the right targets. He is now the club's director of data and AI, and the transformation in the club's use of data has been one of the biggest success stories of the Ineos regime. Sir Jim Ratcliffe eviscerated United's work in that area after his investment in the club, but it has improved dramatically. It is now being used to help draw up transfer shortlists, or long lists as they should now probably be called. And that is why it feels like United have more options than usual when it comes to their recruitment this summer. Manchester United can avoid more costly transfer mistakes with new approach. Man United are taking a diligent approach to recruitment this summer and have a long list of potential targets to work from. There might be frustration amongst some Manchester United supporters that their club has so far been thwarted in this transfer window, deciding the fees to compete for Elliot Anderson and Matheus Fernandes didn't represent value in this market. In an era when winning the window is often considered as important as winning the football, pulling out of the competition for two midfielders who sign for rival clubs because you don't like the fees involved will always attract some criticism. United decided the £116 million for Anderson didn't suit their budget in a summer when they are looking to sign as many as three midfielders, and then felt the £85 million for Fernandes was too much for a player of potential, but one who is far from the finished article. On the face of it, those look like sensible decisions, even if it means the midfield rebuild is still struggling to get off the ground. Ederson will likely wrap up his move to Old Trafford this week, but beyond that, there has been no big name signing. United do have plenty of potential targets, however, and that is a sea change from their previous approach in the window. Alex Scott, Carlos Baleba, Aurelien Tchouameni, Felix Mecha, André Santos and Sander Berge are all players who have been monitored this summer. The approach to draw up a long list of targets, thanks to United's increased focus on data, allied with their belief in the systems being used at the club, means there is no panic to land your top target, or in the case of midfield, even your second target. If United sign a combination of two of the players mentioned above, it will still likely be a good window and a successful midfield overhaul. There is no sense of panic within the club. It's certainly difficult to imagine this football structure, with Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox pulling the strings, Christopher Vivell, an experienced figure in recruitment, and Michael Sansoni's team pulling the strings on the data, committing some of the mistakes United have made in recent seasons. In Erik ten Hag's first summer, they wanted a right winger, but became fixated on the idea of signing Antony from Ajax. He was the player ten Hag wanted, and the club were willing to deliver him. Ajax CEO and former United goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar said they challenged United to go as far as possible, and instead of walking away, those in charge of transfers accepted the challenge. They went to a staggering £85.5 million for Antony, and Ajax had no choice but to accept because the fee got so high, as Van der Sar said. It proved to be a terrible bit of business. The signing of Rasmus Højlund wasn't as disastrous, but again, the Dane was the only striker United wanted in 2023, and as a result, Atalanta played them perfectly. That deal for a fee of £64 million, with a further £8 million in add-ons, was agreed at 3 a.m. in the morning after direct talks between the two clubs. But it came just days after one Old Trafford official had said there was no chance they would pay more than £60 million. Those are just two deals that simply wouldn't happen now. Neither represented good value, and this version of United would have had alternative targets to move on to. Perhaps Anderson and Fernandes will go on to be successful for City and Spurs, but the examples of Antony and Højlund show that spending big money and pushing the boat out on signings isn't always a guarantee. Matheus Cunha returns to Manchester United with a new option for Michael Carrick. Manchester United forward Matheus Cunha crashed out of the World Cup on Sunday as Brazil lost 2-1 to Norway in New Jersey. Few outside of Brazil can fully comprehend the pressure Matheus Cunha and his teammates have been under this summer. After last winning the World Cup in 2002, the weight of expectation has been too much for many of that golden generation's successors. Fourth place in their home World Cup in 2014, that ended in nightmare fashion following a 7-1 semi-final thumping at the hands of Germany, is the closest they have been since to glory on the biggest stage in the last 24 years. On Sunday night, the wait to get their hands back on the trophy was extended for another 4 years as Norway advanced to face England in the quarter-finals. Without a doubt, today must be the most difficult day of my life, professionally speaking, a distraught Cunha admitted post-match. We had chances we didn't convert, while they had chances and converted them. It's difficult to try and understand everything, but unfortunately that's part of football. There is a lot of sadness in the dressing room, a lot of crying, a lot of pain. The worst thing is that we frustrated a lot of people, and that's what hurts the most. While the defeat hurts Cunha now, when he has time to reflect on his own tournament, he can be proud of his accomplishments. After coming off the bench in the opener, Cunha started the 3-0 win over Haiti and celebrated with a brace. He then added his third goal of the World Cup in the comfortable victory against Scotland by the same scoreline. Following Igor Thiago's poor display against Morocco in their opening match, Cunha earned his place in Carlo Ancelotti's starting 11, playing in the centre-forward role. This will have come as no shock to anyone who has tracked Cunha's performances for his nation. Last November, the 27-year-old was asked about his favourite position. "My favourite position is to be on the pitch and help my team, of course," Cunha replied. "Right now in Brazil, I have a different job to come a little bit and help the team in the build-up and attack as a striker. I feel fine playing as a false nine, exactly this kind of participation in the build-up and get on the ball more." Those opportunities to play the false nine role were few and far between for United last season. Under Ruben Amorim, Cunha played as one of the two number 10s, often behind Benjamin Sesko. When Amorim left in January and Michael Carrick reinstated the 4-2-3-1 system, Cunha was moved to the left. He did well there, particularly in the absence of Patrick Dorgu and a lack of alternative options, closed off the opportunity for him to play up front. This summer, United are expected to strengthen their forward areas. A left winger is one of the priorities for Carrick, and should he sign one, that leaves more freedom for Cunha to change position. He has shown this summer that he can be effective in the false nine role and offer Carrick a new option down the middle. Sesko will be expected to lead the line when fit, but if that plan isn't working, United need to offer opposition defences something different. Cunha can do just that, and his versatility could prove to be a huge strength for United next season. The return of Champions League football means plenty of opportunities for Carrick to experiment with different systems, and the Brazil international will have given him food for thought. In a summer when United need to spend substantially to bolster their ranks, finding solutions within the current squad is imperative. Cunha has shown he can be part of that solution for Carrick from August. That wraps up today's Manchester United news. Do you think United should spend £85 million on another signing? Who should Michael Carrick bring to Old Trafford before the transfer window closes? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's update, don't forget to like, subscribe to Man United Talk and turn on notifications for daily Manchester United news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Glory, glory, Manchester United.